This is the Live Well and Thrive podcast, hosted by Michael Torsha, health and wellness expert. It's time to shape up, America.
Hi, this is Mike Torsha, and welcome to Live Well and Thrive. I have a very special guest today, Betsy Foster. She's the co-founder of Love.Life, this amazing wellness, I'd say, community, not just a company. And it brings together every type of healing and spiritual, emotional, fitness you can imagine, and medical in one place. So, Betsy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike. It's so great to be here today. Thank you.
I mean, I'd love for you to share your journey. You were working with Whole Foods, and then that got acquired by Amazon, correct?
Correct.
So you're around the health kind of food and grocery and so on, but I heard you were really the captain of the ship there, really to make sure that things were run correctly, that people were happy and the products were the finest possible. So I can imagine with Love.Life, you're driving that machine. When I went to your facility in El Segundo here in California, I was blown away. I mean, everything you described to me, like it's like the Wizard of Oz when you're walking and there's curves to each room. It had this euphoric, heavenly feeling. But everything as you described it, you have this cafe where you can look at the monitor, pick out the foods you want, and any kind of food you can imagine, and you click on it and you have the food within 6 to 8 minutes delivered to your table. Or if you want to go into the functional training room or the cardio, physical therapy, or the meditation, yoga, massage beds, cold plunge, red light. I mean, I can go on forever. And then you have a complete medical team, gene testing, vitamin IVs, hormone replacement. So how did you come together with this concept, and what's your plans? Is this something you're going to roll out across the United States?
Well, that's a big question, so I'll try to break it down.
Okay.
Thank you for that. So I was at Whole Foods for almost 30 years, and we had a lot of health and wellness initiatives. Obviously, food is very important to us as a retail grocer, so definitely healthy food is something I've grown up with, and retail is in my DNA, all of our DNA. But we had some programs that we offered at Whole Foods for our team members, and we really learned the power of healing, that the body is really able to do a lot of healing if we take care of it. But we don't always take care of it. And we had medical and wellness centers. We had programs called Total Health Immersions that our team members went to, and they were very transformative. We saw people really transform their lives. People with chronic disease would reverse their chronic disease, and we felt like we had to do more. And Whole Foods was fabulous for food, but to truly transform health and healthcare, we needed to do that outside of Whole Foods. And so really that was the vision, that we saw people truly transform their lives, and we knew it could be done. And so for us, we know the healthcare system is broken. We spend over $4 trillion on healthcare in this country, but we have really poor health outcomes. And so for us, Love.Life is the new future of health. As you mentioned, we bring all these different modalities under a single roof. We create a personalized care plan to empower you to become the best version of yourself. And we have it all in one place. It's a community, it's a friendship, it's a love. We want people to live well and love life.
Well, first of all, how did you come up with that name? I love the name of your company. Was that your brainchild?
It was not. We actually, during COVID, we discovered a restaurant in Miami, Love.Life Cafe, and they became a part of our family, and we borrowed, if you will, part of that name to really represent what we want. We want people to love their life and just feel like it's so fitting for what we're trying to do for people.
Think about it. You know, Apple has that logo, Apple, but in 2 words, it describes exactly what you're all about. Love life.
Exactly.
Because how can you enjoy life if you're feeling miserable, aches and pains, or overweight or underweight, and just not feeling vibrant? And I noticed the community component is so appealing. Yes. Because there's a lot of people that are into fitness and they're single. And this is actually a place where people can go, and if not a love connection, just maybe a friendship.
Absolutely.
Maybe someone to work out together. Let's do a workout. Let's do the cold plunge. Let's meditate together, because when you do with someone, it's a more fruitful experience.
Absolutely. And it helps with people who are doing things to have a partner, to push each other a little bit, and to make it just more fun.
See, I love the opposite of the Equinoxes and LA Fitness and the Gold's Gym, because they make money on personal training. They try to discourage body training. And if you do it, they ask you not to count reps, because you're not supposed to train with someone, because then they think you're training each other. So, and they'll reprimand you and actually tell you they'll cancel your membership, when they should embrace it. If two women or two men or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife want to train, let them train together. They're happy.
Absolutely.
Right? But they're against it. And I love the fact you encourage it.
Absolutely.
And how you put all this in one space. Because, like it was, my previous interview was with Drew. And, she was like blown away when I was sharing with her that when you go and say you have a problem with your knee or your neck or your back, you got to go to an orthopedic surgeon. They're going to do an examination. They're going to order the x-rays, the MRI. Then you got to come back. Then they got to view it. Then they got to send the script to a physical therapist. Then the physical therapist will put you through it. Then after physical therapy's done, then you can go to the trainer and train to now start taking the body to the next level and strengthening and the core and everything. But you have to do all this, and it takes months. You're a one-stop shop.
We are. We have the medical component is so key for us. We've got functional, integrative, lifestyle docs. We do advanced testing. But what we have by being under one roof is we have the physical therapist. We have the psychotherapist. We have Eastern medicine. We have the health coach. We have the trainers. We have all of that. We have breath work, meditation, all under one roof, spiritual advisors, so that we can create that personalized care plan for you to empower you to become the best version of yourself. You don't have to drive all over town, and you can do it with your friends, and we hope you meet new friends and bring your friends and have fun while you're doing it. We even have 3 pickleball courts, so you can go out and play and have some fun too.
Well, pickleball is something I haven't tried, but I'm looking forward to that for sure.
I look forward to playing.
When you showed me the courts, I was like, wow, I just want to stay here. I didn't want to go home. It was, to me, because I'm so much into health, wellness, fitness, I was like a kid in a candy store, just wanting to try everything. And I just love that you've put this all together. And that wonderful cafe.
Yes.
And you have all these earth tones. So you walk in there feeling centered and more peaceful. So if you had a stressful day at work, you come in there, you just decompress, And so is this something you are going to roll out as long as this goes well in El Segundo, to do this like you did with Whole Foods?
Absolutely. That really is the goal. I mean, America needs this. It's a great experience. You were there, you saw it. And so our goal is to roll these out across the U.S. and beyond, and really bring this to the world to change health and healthcare.
Now, I love the fact that you're in this very high-end shopping mall where, people can go for other things, but also at the same time, they can just park there and then walk right in, not have to worry about a structure. It's late at night, it's unsafe, and so on. They park their car, they go in your facility, and they just let go of everything that's going on in the world, and just, it's all about them and becoming healthy. And I like the fact that you have the medical. The gene testing is so important. The testing for the hormone, the testosterone, the free testosterone, the cortisol. These are all these things that people don't check. And people also have to know, you need to know what's going on with your thyroid, your kidneys, your liver. Because most of the time people are self-medicating. They watch these so-called experts on YouTube, and they're taking this supplement and that supplement. And this one gentleman I was at Craig's restaurant. He comes up to me. He says, Mike, I got to talk to you. I've been watching Brecca and Atia and Uberman, and I take like 78 pills a day. Wow. Is that good? I go, no, it's not good. Are you eating okay? He said, yeah, I eat well-balanced meals. 4 days a week, workout, cardio, stretch, all that. I said, great. Well, then why are you taking all these supplements? Well, I saw Uberman and he said I need to take this to go to sleep at night. Well, you got to understand, if you're not sleeping, you need to figure out what's causing you not to sleep, not mask it with supplements, because those supplements are over-the-counter drugs. They're still drugs. So you need to figure out why is it causing it, and then reverse it. But you need to have tests done. Maybe there's something going on in your body. You never know. So people are guessing and possibly hurting themselves and getting very toxic internally, because it affects your liver and your kidneys. And he said, you know what? I had the blood test, and my kidneys and my liver was inflamed. I go, exactly. They're filters. And you're putting all these capsules and the gelatin and the tablets and binders and fillers and supplements you don't maybe even need. So that's why I created Live Well and Thrive, giving people sensible advice, but backed up by clinical studies, articles where it's coming from the highest level of information you could ever imagine. And I love the fact that you have it under one roof. It's fantastic. How long did it take you to build out Love.Life?
We moved very quickly, faster than we ever did at Whole Foods. We started construction the beginning of January. We soft launched open in July and had our formal grand opening in August. So we ran 2 and 3 shifts a day. We had, an amazing construction team that had people working on the ground. We had people in the middle and people on lifts working on the ceiling. So it was a lot, and we tried to go really fast. We wanted to get this concept out. So we moved really, really quickly, but it was a lot of fun.
So your footprint is roughly 45,000 square feet?
45,000 square feet.
Now, will you have only kind of mini versions of it in some cities, or will you keep that as the footprint at all 45,000?
No, that is a great question. We just opened last month, so I think at this point it's a little early to see, but I think the customers will help us figure that out. We'll understand what they really enjoy, what they like, and that'll help us decide how we need to evolve, how we need to pivot. So we'll see what the customer says.
So when you say you give a tour of the facility and you share with them all the wonderful things, how have you broken down the packages? So are there certain levels of membership? How does that work?
We do. We have 3 packages. We have a fitness and recovery package, and that includes the gym, all the equipment in there. That also includes our recovery area. We've got 3 types of sauna. So you've got your steam sauna, your dry sauna, your infrared sauna, and the cold plunges there. We also have a meditation area that's in our spa. So you can go and relax, put on a headset, maybe do a meditation. So for some people, they're used to a gym and want that entry point of more at that gym level, but we have more fitness and recovery than any place under one roof in LA. And so a lot of people are really loving the fact that all of those different modalities are there. So for some people, that's the great entry point. But what I think most people are interested in is the medical component. And so we have a medical membership we call Optimize, and that has a whole range of components. It's a bunch of visits with the doctor. So again, a functional, integrative lifestyle doctors. We have, if you have some sick care needs, you can get that as well. We also have very advanced testing. We're testing over 120 biomarkers. We have some follow-up labs that we do. We have visits to a range of experts that, depending on your personal goals, you may want to see a health coach, or you may want acupuncture, or you may need time with the physical therapist. It just depends on what your goals are. So you have a range of visits with a lot of expert practitioners. We also have a certain number of recovery modalities you can do. So you might be recovering from an injury, so you want to see PT and you want to do some hyperbaric or some PEMF. So you may want to really load on those services versus other people might want to do, say, some Reiki, and they want to do, let's say, Balancer Pro for recovery. So it will depend. So what we're trying to do is create very high value offering that people, based on their health and their health goals, can decide where they want to be, what track they want to somewhat follow. So we try to make that very easy for them. And then we have a concierge unlimited package that has unlimited physicians, unlimited recovery, a range of testing and other services that they can get. So we really try to have something for everyone so that everyone can experience Love.Life.
So if someone comes in and does the full enchilada, so to say, and they get blood work done and whatever gene testing, what's the turnaround time? Because I know certain labs can move faster than other. So normally if you come in and do gene testing and complete hormone panel, is it days or what is it, a week? What
It's usually a few weeks.
Okay.
Right now, as you can appreciate, we're building up volume, and so we rely on a third-party lab. So we can do all of the blood draws or swabs or whatever method is for the test in-house, and we'll send it out. But because we don't process it in-house, it takes a little bit longer, so it's usually a few weeks.
Right. Well, I have a great relationship with a center in Beverly Hills that do all the blood work immediately. So if you had the blood work delivered, they can do it immediately, like for you. So if you want, I can, because sometimes people want to know right away. They don't want to wait 2-3 weeks. If you know you can get it within 72 hours, because they have all the machines to give you the results right away. That's why I go there. In fact, I do it, and I get it the next day sometimes. Sometimes it takes 2 days, but I usually get it within 48 hours. A complete.
That's fantastic.
Extensive, right? So I could talk to them about it because I think people want now. They want it right now.
We do.
And that'd be helpful just to speed up the process because I want to try to think of ways I can help you. I got to tell you, I can turn you on to a lot of orthopedic surgeons because they need to send people to a place to do the physical therapy. But then they also say, then you're going to have to find a place for the training we don't really know about that. But then again, so you're working with the orthopedic. He can then say, go to Love.Life. Everything is there. Because they have to progress from the physical therapy to then the physical conditioning.
Right.
And then you also have a psychologist, correct?
Correct.
So now you can help people reacclimate back into society. Maybe they had a car accident and really hurt their spine or whatever. They have to learn how to properly function again, and psychologically it messes them up when you go through it, so they have to get their head together. Also, are the psychologists able to work with people with eating disorders?
Our team does work with people with eating disorders. However, depending on probably the level and severity, we may need to bring in some additional resources, but we could certainly do that.
Now, that's something that's very prevalent, especially today, especially after COVID.
Right.
So many people are suffering from that. So I love the fact that you have all the top experts in one roof. So as far as your dream, what is your dream as far as taking this? Would you keep this just the United States, or would you go international?
We would absolutely go international. I think a lot of places, if you think about some of the European countries, they're much further along in terms of what you see in terms of recovery, experience, meditation, different types of therapies. So I think there is a lot of, internationally, go back to Eastern medicine and its roots. So there are elements around the world that I think would really embrace this model as well.
Well, I got to say, I work with the Saudi families for many, many years, over 40 years. And the issue with that is, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they have a tier system of from royal to the lower tier ranking family members, and so a top tier, which is closer to the king, cannot marry someone with the lower tier. In fact, like for instance, if you're top tier, you could stay at the Hotel Bel Air, Beverly Hills Hotel, or Waldorf Astoria. If you're lower tier, you have to go to Peninsula, Mayborn, or the Regent Beverly Wilshire, or the Four Seasons. You cannot stay in the hotel. They don't allow it. So what they do is the higher tier ranking royal family members marry within the family. First cousin, second cousin, third cousin. They have so much joint replacement, kidney, liver problems, heart problems, other genetic health issues because they're inbreeding with the family members. So a lot of times when they'd come over, I mean, it was constantly asthma, diabetes, MS, constantly young people in their 20s getting a liver and kidney transplant. So I was contacted by a royal family that owned a whole chain of like Four Seasons and additional hotels, and they said, Mike, would you like to bring this over to the Middle East? We embrace to be healthier. Their diets are terrible, high in sugar and high in bad fats. So that's something I was working on. I was just thinking that's a prime country to approach because they definitely want to be healthy. And they'd come here in Qatar. The king of Qatar is a client of mine. And there's such ill health in this country. And these are young people growing up with type 1 diabetes and other
It's so
sickness.
sad.
It's sad.
And it doesn't have to be. I mean, type 1 is not reversible, but particularly type 2.
Yeah, exactly. But I just thought, because I like to think of when there's something good, how to share. And that's how I've been my whole life. And when we met, I just said, wow, my mind's been running wild of all the ways I can help you connect the dots, to help you fast track your dream, because you want to get it out there. There's going to be people trying to knock you off, but that's okay, because you got a brand that, and the name of your company, you got it together. You have this beautiful energy. Everybody that works for your company is so wonderful. It's like when you walk into the Beverly Hills Hotel, they treat every person like they're royalty. And that's how I felt when I walked into Love.Life,
Right.
So you have that magical approach, but I'm sure there's going to be places where you may not have the same density, so you may have to scale and do a smaller version of it, but still be able to have it in one roof to be able to provide the help for people,
I was going to talk a little bit about the team. We've got 25 different types of experts under that one roof, but they've been really curated, and to me it's bringing hospitality into this whole concept, because particularly in medicine it doesn't often exist, and so trying to bring that specialness and that customer service and customer experience. You saw the curves and the just trying to create the warmth and inviting, soothing experience. So I think it's having wonderful team members, well-educated team, and having a space that you feel great in and that you want to be in and can experience it. And I think it is something that people will embrace, and I can see lots of places that would love to have one.
Now, did you handpick the people that are now on your team? How was that process?
Yeah, we did. We interviewed and we got referrals. Getting a referral from someone that you think is really great is always the best way if you can. But we found some amazing people, so it's been fantastic.
Well, I found, and it's so funny, I learned this from Rodney Dangerfield when I was training him many years ago. I remember one time when I first met him, he lived in this beautiful penthouse in Wilshire Corridor here in California, and you go, as soon as the door opens, you see these pieces of art, beautiful sculptures, and Rodney Dangerfield, who's always hair's a mess and just wacky, but he had this side of him that was quite interesting. And as soon as I walk over to talk to him, he's sitting at this table, and he had a faded blue robe with his hairy chest, and he had a cigarette with a real long ash on. He goes, hey, Mike, come in. I go, hey, Rodney. He goes, hey, I want to run some jokes by you. So he starts running jokes by me. I kept laughing and laughing and laughing. And then finally I said to him, Rodney, I go, what makes a joke funny? He goes, it's not a joke. It's how you deliver it. And he said, why I hired you is because the way you deliver your training advice. Because the first time when I did train him, he actually, when we went down into the gym, he walked through the gym out to the pool, and he had shorts on. He threw his robe. He just all the time had robe on. It's just shorts, flip-flops, and a robe, and a cigarette. And he threw the cigarette down, and he jumps in the pool, and he goes, let's work out. And I was like, work out? He goes, yeah, I want to do it in the pool. So, of course, I was dressed really nice. I had my Adidas workout outfit, color matching, these beautiful white sneakers. So I said, okay. I took the jacket off. I jumped in the pool with all my clothes on. he started laughing like crazy. And we did a whole workout, and I became his trainer. We became friends. I helped him the best I can to get healthier. But I remember he said, Mike, just like I told you about the jokes, it's not the joke, it's delivery. I'm sure there's other trainers as brilliant as you, but it's how you delivered your instruction, how you inspired me. You made me laugh. You listened to my jokes. You had funny stories yourself. So I'm sure with personalities, you can have some brilliant people, but sometimes they can be very monotone and not very personable. So, but everybody had that it factor. And I see that you think more than just their paperwork or their awards. You have to make sure they love what they do and they're passionate, right? Because that's what I noticed about every single person, even the girl just cleaning up around the cafe. Mm-hmm. So friendly. Hi, how are you? Yeah. Not just zoned out, an automatic pilot. I mean, did you do that purposely because you that personality?
It's culture. You want to create a culture of customer service, but if your team members are having fun and caring about your customers, your members, everyone wins. And it makes it, they're happy, customers are happy, it's a win-win, and it's a great place to be. So it's really important to have people who believe in our mission and are aligned with our purpose. And when you have that, we're all in it together, and it really comes through, both for the team members and for the customer.
Right. So how long did it take from when you left Whole Foods to launch this company?
It was 4 years.
Wow.
It was a long 4 years. But it was great. It was a lot of research, a lot of visiting other places, a lot of inspiration, a lot of knowledge building, meeting a lot of people, learning from so many gracious people who shared about different elements and aspects of either their business or trends, or a lot of reading, a whole lot of just self-education. So it was a great journey.
So as far as working with specific people like special needs, what if you have people that have certain disabilities, handicap? Mm-hmm. Is there experts you have that can help these people that have specific restrictions when they come in and exercise? I was just curious.
Sure. No, that's a great question. I think we would want to make sure, depending on what their needs are, that we have the right person that can really be a good fit and support for that person. So I think we would just want to make sure, based on that we have what that person most needs to be sure that we can really deliver for them.
Yeah, because there are a lot of fitness people that actually are in wheelchairs. Mm-hmm. They may have, an inability not to walk, or maybe they just have prosthesis because they've lost their legs, but they still want to get in the gym and they want to train. And I've been traveling all over the world, and I've noticed that this helps keep them going. I had this one young lady, she was born with no legs. She only had a few fingers on each hand. And I talked to her about how does it feel to have the disability. She goes, I don't have a disability because I never had it. See, if I had it, then lost it, I feel I had a disability. This girl competes in those Paralympic competitions. She does commercials. She's in Living Dead series, and she does stunts. She goes, I look at myself as just another human being because I don't feel I have a disability if I wasn't born with it. It's taken away. And her outlook on life is amazing.
Beautiful.
And she surfs. She does all these things, and she sends me pictures all the time, some things she did, some gig and some stunt. I got to tell you something. She has this most incredible confidence and radiating, and I just thought, maybe there's more people with special needs that should experience being in a facility like yours that can give them the benefit of all the services you have there, the plunges, red light, and all those other things, so they can feel like they have a home and they can be part of a community. And I think that the special needs, there's a place for that too, and I just see your community as being something that people want to go there every day. Even if they're not working out, play some pickleball or go for a massage or something,
Right.
because it's so euphoric when you walk in the room. You've done really well. I love all the earth tones because it sets the mood. Like whenever I want to train really hard, I wear like a red shirt, or some kind of blue, depending on my mood. So I'll actually pick the colors of the mood I want to be in when I train, And I just noticed that I wear like pastels when I do cardio, And so colors, that's what I noticed when
Yes.
walking through your place. Very important. But a
Right.
lot of gyms do that black and a typical
Right.
blue or whatever. And even the colors of the equipment, everything was uplifting, And I see you put a lot of thought and effort into it. It's fantastic.
Thank you. We did. We spent a lot of time picking colors.
So did you ever think you'd be in this business?
No.
Because I want to know about you. Like, growing up, were you playing music or track, or you're a nerd? What was you like growing up? Because you're so interesting.
Thank you. No, I grew up in Alabama, and I was a tennis player and basketball player and a little bit of a nerd all in one.
And about your mother and father, were they into fitness? Did they encourage you?
We played tennis some as a family, but that was not, at least for me growing up, fitness was not, the concept of working out wasn't really a thing.
So it's something you took upon yourself later on after
I did.
retiring
After I
from
graduated
tennis,
from college, that's when I moved to Houston, and it was like, oh, gyms. Gyms for me growing up was the YMCA. Not that there's anything wrong, but my dad went to the YMCA, but it wasn't really, I went there and played basketball, but it wasn't really there wasn't much in the way of gyms, if you will, when I
Well,
when I
Ys
grew up.
today are pretty incredible.
They're amazing.
Now they're-
Used to be a very different looking experience to go into a YMCA.
Yeah, I remember when I went into the YMCA at 15 years old. No, actually 14 years old. We walked down the stairs, and it kind of went down on the side, and then there was this big room, and it had like light bulbs with the wire coming down. There's no fixture, and it was just like very hot, and there were fans going, and it stunk because these guys never washed their clothes. They'd leave it unlocked and come back and wear the same thing, and I was like, oh. But it was a mixture of, and no women were allowed. It was just guys. It was dirty, but I learned about brotherhood. I learned about because there were powerlifters and there were bodybuilders and there were Olympic athletes. And the Olympic athletes really impressed upon me perfect technique and form is essential. Powerlifters, shared with me how to improve strength and power. And then they were more like the cardio guys that shared with me about core and stretching and being lean. So I got a little bit of everything. And I helped evolve my kind of training concepts and my programs. But I had the experience, and that's what I love about Love.Life. They're going to experience the functional training. Maybe they never tried it before. It's wonderful. But if they want to get into just some serious cardio or some of those really unique cardio pieces, machines you showed me.
That's right.
I mean, share about that unit you showed me where you're turning. That I've never seen that before.
I love that piece of equipment. It's called iMove. It's got that big disc,
Yeah.
but the disc is tilted and it's rotating and it moves where the center is. And so it's really pushing you on balance. And as a result, it's stimulating all those muscles that usually never get stimulated. So I think it's an amazing piece of equipment.
Well, I see a lot of people that play tennis and golf trying to emulate the movement with like cables or dumbbells. Not right. They're not turning the torso correctly. With that, I think it'd be great for people that play tennis and golf and other sports because you're working all those auxiliary muscles that don't
Exactly.
get worked in
Exactly.
typical weight training.
Right.
So that's why I was like, wow. If people only knew about this, they'd be running to your place because that's what a lot of people do need. They don't know how to do that kind of agility training and the conditioning that you have to do for that sport. Because I've seen so many people trying to do like they do like a backhand with weights. They go, oh my God, what are they doing? You know, you have to turn that torso. It's like I remember when I was training with Bob Wall. He was Bruce Lee's training partner and was in all his movies. And he talked about, I said, can you show me the 2-inch punch? And he said, yeah. And he said, but before I do it, look at my feet, look at my hips. It's not, the power's not being driven here. It's only 1 inch. It's the torso, turning the torso, or the power comes up from your leg up. So when Bruce Lee was doing it, they kept seeing his hand here. They go, oh, maybe it's a shoulder, maybe it's a tri. No, it had nothing to do with that. Everything is generated from the legs up. It's turning the torso.
Makes
so
sense.
that's why when you're showing to me, I go, wow, this would be great for MMA fighters, boxers, because that torso is where they get the power, the knockout power, because a lot of times they're using just their upper body just to generate the chest, shoulders, tricep, when the power's coming from the ground up. And so I was like, wow, reach out some of those MMA training camps or dojos, say, hey, listen, if you want to improve that power, here's what you can do with all this functional training, you know? It's like unlimited what you can do to your place.
That is true. We have something for everyone.
Well, I got to say, this has been an absolute pleasure having you come on, and I look forward to seeing your place grow and going across the country and helping so many other people, because like I said, it's community. It's bringing people together, like we went through COVID, being locked down, and now you have a place where you can make friends and learn, and all in one roof. That's so beautiful. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Thanks for watching, and if you have people you care about, please share this episode, because what you learned today with Betsy and Love.Life, I gotta say, you'll regret if you don't go to this place. It is a heavenly experience, whether you're into fitness or not. So if you have someone you care about, please share this episode. I'm sure that they're gonna learn so much about it. It may actually change their life forever. And subscribe. We need your support. Thanks.